Hey guys, welcome back. We are still working on the 07. Today we have a few things I want to get knocked out. First things first, I want to get the firewall painted. We're not actually going to paint match it. The truck is that PXR, which is that brilliant black metallic. Even when it's dirty, it's got a little shine to her. And then we're gonna spray paint it just black. So everything that you see silver will be black hopefully by the end of this video. If you guys also notice, I took quite a bit of stuff apart off camera. One thing that we had talked about before is getting rid of the trans cooler that was up here. So for right now, I just have the lines teed together back there. When we move towards that back part of the truck, I'll address that, but for right now they're kind of looped together. The other thing that has always driven me nuts on these 06, 07 trucks is the tip-em, and I guess really any of the third gens, is the tip-em. So you guys can see here, we unplugged it. Now, I want to mount the tip-em, instead of it being part of the battery box sitting like right about here, I want to move it down and into this fender wall right here. So in order to do that, two things have to happen. The first thing that has to happen is this battery box over here has to be modified. And what I mean by that is on your battery box or battery tray on a third gen, we have this would be towards the, here, I'll do it like this. So now we're looking at the engine, right? This is obviously where your battery goes. This is where our ABS module goes. I'm really not too keen on messing with that just yet. So this is where our factory tip-em goes. So what I'm gonna do is take a Sawzall or some kind of a cutting tool and cut this portion off. What that will allow us to do is rotate the tip-em down and into there. Now, there were quite a few options I had. Option one was to try and recreate this tip-em bracket here, which I'm sure could be done. David has it done. I'm just not too fond on that. I decided to take apart the tip-em itself. So if you guys look here, we have our tip-em. It is been removed from the truck. Pretty easy to do. There are 5 torque screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have to remove the power stud. Now, in order to do that, it's quite simple. You just pop, there's that little plastic clip right in there, pop that out, and the whole tip-em pulls out. So what my thought process here is we have all these standoffs where the tip-em screws into. And after doing some caliper measuring, I know that I can slip a bolt head behind or under the tip-em in this area and this area here without interfering with the circuit board. So that is my plan on this tip-em relocation, is to, instead of trying to recreate the wheel and make a thing that like grabs onto these tangs and stuff, we are actually just going to make our tip-em have a little bracket that bolts here, and that will allow us to move the tip-em. I'm thinking kind of like into this area, maybe even so much as like this. Keep in mind, we do have to worry about the battery box, but the main goal is, instead of the tip-em being like this, making this intercooler pipe very hard to get to and access all this stuff down here, my goal is to kind of rotate the tip-em from here, kind of more in this general area here. And that is our goal for one of the projects. The other thing that we're gonna do while we're in here is also get some Pour 15 on all of the frame down here. It's really, I drove this truck one time. We had to follow somebody last year right when I moved here in a snowstorm, and it just demolished this front end. So the nice part is the pressure washer. We basically got to do it inside here last night. I figured I'd spare you that, but We rolled the truck back, purple powered it, sprayed everything off, got it ready for paint. I am going to Scotch-Brite all of the painted surfaces up so that way the paint will stick. And basically I want to pour 15. The front part of the truck will probably go from the cab mounts right there forward, and then we can put the truck on a lift obviously and do the rest of the vehicle. But that's kind of where we're at. You guys can see here like the undercoating I had put on kind of chipping off, but it is what, actually that's the axle sticker. But that is the plan. I'm not sure how much we'll cover in depth, more so just watching me get to work on this thing.
Alright, so
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I picked up the grinder. Before I knew it, this is what we were dealing with. I know. So, we removed the lower subframe here. That's up there. I clearanced the cowl and kind of booger welded that seam back together where I cut too far. So we got that done. That I just do for a little bit more room to work on the trucks. It'll all be sealed off so you actually don't breathe in all that nasty soot or whatever, but I have done that many times. And I also cut this one for our tip-em relocation and then welded in a piece of DOM tubing there to basically bring that structure back because the battery mounts to that. So all in all, pretty happy. Now I'm going to brake clean everything off and hit it with some paint. You know, just wanted to show you guys kind of my process. You know, I pick up a tool. Before I know it, I'm making plunge cuts. Really made a lot more work for myself, but it is what it is. You know, I always like to cap these off. It just, I feel like it looks cleaner. The first person I've ever seen cap them was John Schrado over at Granby Truck Shop. And then I've seen Cody Fisher do it a few times. I just think it looks a lot cleaner. I did steal that idea from John Schrado there with the DOM tubing. So a big thank you to him for always showing people his work. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I took the fenders off. It seemed easier to me to take the fenders off than it did to try to tape around the fender. So this will allow us to really finish the color match portion here. As you can see, they did the jambs, but they did not do the hinges. No big deal. I knew that was the case. And then we will kind of probably overspray into this area here a little bit. And I probably won't go too close to the window, but I'll try to get a little bit of that. I also pulled the wiring harness out of this top part for this. I'm going to try to do a little bit different of a wire tuck. I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but I figured I'd at least give it a shot. And that's why you guys saw me remove that. But all in all, I'm really happy with the progress. Everything is scuffed up and ready for paint. You guys can kind of see it's just like been scuffed up a little bit. Still dirty, obviously, but next I'm going to work on getting this wire tuck a little bit nicer. Not sure if it's going to net any gains, but that's what I'm going to be working on. And then I will begin the Spray Bomb 9000. One of the tricks I use for spray paint, if you guys are new to it or trying to figure out, what I do is I take a bottle or a bucket of very hot water. I submerge the can just below the lid line. That way you don't get water under the lid. Let that sit for a little bit. It helps heat up the can. And then I got everything prepped. I sprayed some promotion adhesion. And now I'm going to go ahead and mask off the areas that I don't want to paint and move, like this headlight obviously and stuff. And then I'm going to turn the fans on from this corner here to blow any overspray that way, where I have no trucks, nothing like that. Should work out pretty good for us. All right, there she is. 3 coats, gloss black Rust-Oleum on a prep surface. Got everything painted black. Again, the frame and all that is going to go for pour 15. We got inside the door jambs. I know it's technically not PXR, but it'll look better than silver. So we got all the way down there to that rear body mount. Just, you know, get the cans warm, and they lay really nice. I taped the window up and I just shot to the window line. We miss a little bit with the window motor, but honestly it's whatever. And then we got the same thing over here. And yeah, I'm very happy with how it looks. We'll let it dry. I'm going to apply the pour 15. Again, before I did the pour 15 or anything like that, I purple powered it and like acid, like a light little coat, sprayed the truck off with a pressure washer, and then again I hit it with all the prep spray. So it should go on pretty easy. This is my first time using pour 15, so I just bought the little pint-sized can with a brush, and that's how I intend to do it. I guess we'll call this part 1 of 07 season refresh, but this is where we're currently at right now. You'll notice I didn't pour 15 like some of the spots. Basically my plan is to, once the stuff dries, secure everything up into the engine bay, put it on a lift, and then we will continue on with the rest of the frame and stuff. But my main focus was just getting all the stuff that's a lot easier with the motor out. We have all the Pour 15 done. We have all of the firewall subframe done. We have everything braced up. Our wires now poke through a little further back. I did that just to get rid of that bulky connector right there. The other thing I did paint is I repainted our battery box with the Krylon plastic paint. And then I also painted our upper valance and wiper blades. They were just pretty dingy. I'm not sure how good spray paint will look over time, but that's what they look like, at least right now. And we're going to put a wrap on this video. All in all, this is my first time using Pour 15. I gotta say, it is very impressive how well that stuff sticks to like kind of crusty surfaces, I guess would be the word. I'm curious to see how it'll hold up. I feel like I applied it correctly. We did the degrease, we did the adhesion promotion, and then we put it on with a brush. And I'll be curious to see what it looks like. This truck to me looks like $1 million now under the hood. I know it's kind of cluttered and there's wires everywhere and stuff, but once we put all this stuff back together, get our TIP'em hit up in there, get all of our like regular things back in here, I think it'll look a lot nicer. And yeah, hopefully you guys liked this video. Give this one a thumbs up if you're excited for what we have in store for this truck. Comment down below. I'm sure I have a black nostril at this point. Subscribe if you are not already, guys, and as always, I'll catch you all on the next one.